Good morning, everyone. Each day is a new beginning, a new chance to create a masterpiece, and we all are here to build this masterpiece together.
So, let's dive into the ocean of wonderful experiences and begin with today's journey of Inspiro 4.0.
A very good morning to everyone present here. My name is Surbi Ahir.
And my name is Hatim Barwal.
We both welcome you on the behalf of IEEE ADIT student branch to this chapter of Inspiro.
Today, we will be looking forward to experiencing some of the incredible personalities out there. From the biggest sporting spectacles in the world, successful entrepreneurs to tech giants. We have them all.
These personalities will mesmerize you with their presence, influence you with their stories, and will galvanize you to create your invincible world.
Draft your minds to claim every single moment of this day, as it will be a roller coaster ride of numerous exposures. So, are you guys ready to go to the next dimension?
From biggest web series to popular television commercials to hit Bollywood movies, he has done it all.
Hosting, acting, sports, three totally distinct talents, but he owns it all. We can call him a polymath sapient.
Put your hands together for our first speaker of the day, host, actor, sportsman, Mr. Arpit Sharma.
The platform is all yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Surbhi and Hatem. That's a very nice, generous welcome from both of you. Thank you so much for it. I hope I can, live up to even 50% of the expectations that you have and you've created for your audience as well. But again, I appreciate what you've said about me. Thank you so much once again. To all the viewers who are joining in right now, who will join in later on as well, a very warm welcome. My name is Arpit Sharma. A few of you might know who I am. But for those who don't know who I am an actor and an anchor, like they've just mentioned. I host sports for Sony Sports Network. Primarily, I host football. So if there are a few football fans out there, you might be looking and saying, wait, I've seen this guy somewhere. Well, yeah, that's me. Uh, Many thanks to ADIT and these young members who've asked me to talk here about my life. And it's quite a surprising opportunity, if anything, for me to do this, because as I've lived my life, I've never thought it to be something that would be communicated to people to, in a way, inspire them. So much as this is rewarding, it is humbling as well. So thank you to everyone who's made this possible. Thank you for reaching out to me and asking me to do this. To all those people who are watching, first up, hi, ADIT technology. So I'll just give you a little background as to why it feels a little home. I am an engineer myself. I'm a qualified engineer. I did my BE in EXTC, Electronics and Telecommunications, from Mumbai University. Automatically, if you're thinking, well, he was so bad that he couldn't do engineering, so he had to pick something else. I would like to believe that was not the case, because I did graduate with a first class. I did get placed into a company. I also worked in information technology for 4 years for two different companies. So I sort of have a bit of the path that you guys are following. Probably, I know it's very different. They mentioned that ADIT started in 2000. So that's the year I actually got into college. So yeah, it's interesting that maybe some of the background is similar for a few of the people watching. Now, when I was asked to do this talk, and they said, pick a topic, I took a little while to figure out what I would be saying to the people who would be watching. So the topic that I have picked eventually is following your heart, risk and reward. Because I have done it, because I have experienced the reward. Luckily, I'm experiencing it right now, but I have also experienced a lot of the risk as well. So for a lot of people who are watching, who think that they might want to do something different or differently, the same thing differently, I hope my words can make an impact to you. The one thing I would like to start off by saying is, whoever comes here to talk, whoever comes with their experiences, are very unique people. So I don't know if you guys still have this term called GT, which I think was glass tracing. We used to have it, and a lot of our people used to do it because we couldn't draw that well. So we take someone's image and just put it on a glass with light, and then copy it on top to make the exact image. You cannot do that with people's lives and your own life. So you can find someone who has a very great path and try to copy it exactly. It's not necessary that the outcome will be the same. So I want to get started with that, because you can get inspired by people. You can see what they've done and try to do things similarly. But please understand that your life can be very different in spite of the same steps that you follow. So, on that note, with a little bit of I would say, disclaimer, I get started here. Uh, a little background on where I come from. So, today, a lot of people see me as an actor and an anchor and a sports anchor primarily. I host events as well. So that's the image I have right now. If you head over to my Instagram, that's what you will see. That's what my work will say. That's not who I was always. That's not who I always inspired to be, aspired to be. Sorry. That wasn't someone I even thought I could be. I have lived um, a very conventional life, I would like to believe, in the sense where as I was growing up, I was told education is very important, studies are very important, that's what you need to do. And you can do everything else around it. You can play, you can do stage, you can do music, you can learn everything, but those are hobbies. Those aren't things that will help you in your work. What will help you in your work is your education. So get a good education and get a good degree, get a good job. That's the life. So that's exactly how I was brought up, and that's what I was doing. I was good at my academics when I was in school. One of the prime reasons I was good at my academics is my parents. I would like to also point out that my mom, at one point of time, was the teacher in my own school. It's not the happiest of times when that happens, but it does mean that she's informed of your marks, your grades, your performance way before you get to know. So sometimes when you're getting scolded, you don't even know कि मुझ पे चिल्लाया क्यों जा रहा है. Both my parents instilled a lot of discipline in me. Uh, they guided me very well. They pointed out the right things to me throughout my younger life, which is why I was good at whatever I did. I cannot say, this is how I was born, this is what I did. As a child, you need the guidance. As a youth, also, I believe you need that guidance. And I was lucky that my parents guided me in the correct way. And the one other thing was I was never stopped from pursuing anything else, though studies was the thing I had to do, but I was never stopped from primarily playing, because that was the thing that excited me the most. I used to love being outside. I used to love playing. I used to, during my 12th boards, this is a bit of a story where we used to stay where during the boards, we used to have a bit of a gap, which was for the prep leave. And उन दिनों में मैं खेलने जाता था. तो बहुत लोगों को ऐसा लगता था कि यार 12th का एग्जाम है और ये बंदा खेलने जा रहा है, और कोई नहीं खेलने आता था मेरे बाकी जो दोस्त थे 12th के, क्योंकि भले ही आप पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहे हो लेकिन आप घर पे बैठते हो दिखाने के लिए कि आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो. मेरे से वो होता नहीं था, मेरे से घर पे बैठा जाता नहीं था. So I used to love going out, I used to love playing. And I think that eventually has helped me to be where I am, because I had such an interest in sports from a young age. I still have certificates from my school, and I used to participate in every sport. Every sport. The one thing God had blessed me with was I could run, I was athletic, and I had a passion for sports. So I have certificates for literally every sport: cricket, football, badminton, kho, running, tried my hand at hockey also. That wasn't a very good attempt, but anything that I could play, I would play. And I was encouraged to do so. I was never stopped from doing so. I was also shown uh, that an interest in performing arts, music, plays was good, so I wasn't ever stopped on that. So I had that exposure as well. And again, I believe all that has contributed for me to be where I am today. So, you do a lot of things in your life where you don't realize that you're doing them to end up in a certain place. But then when you look back, you say, well, that's the reason. Those are the reasons. Those things that I did is what is helping me out today. So I grew up good at academics with a very strong interest in sports. Performing arts, I wouldn't say was my strongest interest at that time, because sports overpowered everything. Eventually, of course, got through 12th. When I was in 12th, I didn't expect to get the marks that I did. I was a good student, but I still thought I wouldn't do well in my 12th. Also, we shifted schools in the middle of 12th, which they say is not very good, and your base in the board exam should be very strong. And I shifted. So I thought I could use that as an excuse to not do well in my boards eventually, because agar marks kam aate, main bol deta, "Arey, maine to school shift kiya, to poor me," and all that. So while I was going through my 12th also, I thought I wouldn't get that good marks. I was considering options which would be good enough to, with 60%. That was my thing कि 60-70% आ गए तो मैं कहाँ पे जा सकता हूँ कुछ करने के लिए. Engineering was never a thought that came into my mind, but funnily I got more marks than I expected in my 12th. I did prepare well. It's not like मैं खाली paper छोड़ के आया और ज़्यादा marks आ गए. I did prepare well, and I got very good marks, which meant I could get placed into an engineering college, something I never dreamed of, and which also sounded very cool. This is also the year 2000, so engineering was a very, very big deal back then. And so I got placed in KJ Somaya College of Engineering here in Bombay, and I started going to college, and I did my 4 years of engineering. I used to still play. We used to, now I can say it, I guess, we used to bunk classes and go play cricket and football and whatever we could. I had a good group of friends who would enjoy playing. So we would be out there almost all the time. And somehow managed to get through the years, get a first class as well. I got placed in my final year of college in an IT company. And again, I thought, wow, this is the coolest thing to happen. Naukri mil gayi, college khatam hone se pehle. And I think it was a gap of 7 or 8 days before which I had to report to the new company to do my training. So I didn't have a vacation either after 4 years of engineering. One piece of advice I'll give you right here is always take a break. Always take a break. I should have taken a break. There are multiple times in my life where I look back and I say, I should have taken a break, because it gives you a lot of perspective in that time. We tend to be in an autopilot mode where we keep going. Take a break. It's all right. As long as you're not taking a ridiculously long break, please take a break. Take a step back, rest your mind, think about things that you want to think about, and then move ahead. So I started working in IT, and I was a bit of a rebel. I used to have long hair. I just realized, actually, I guess it was a bit of a late development. If I'd made a better presentation, I could have shown you photographs. I used to have long hair, and I was the odd man out in the office over there. And I used to always think that this wasn't a place I was going to stay long. And the logical thing to do after a job was to do an MBA. I used to see my friends, and मैं ये भी बता देता हूँ आपको कि I wasn't the most aware student or the most aware employee or anything like that. When it came to placements in college, I missed out on a lot of companies because I didn't know where to go to look for the placement. Like, I genuinely didn't know where the placement board was. That's how unaware I was. When it came to an MBA, I had to be informed that the way to do an MBA was that you give multiple exams. And these were my friends who knew way better than I did. I didn't even know when my friends were preparing for MS. They used to sit there and they used to be preparing for GRE, and I had to find out what GRE was. So I was not the most aware. Sports के बारे में कुछ भी पूछ लेते मैं बता देता, लेकिन ये सब academics के बारे में मुझे ज़्यादा पता नहीं था. And so in my first job, I thought, okay, I'll do an MBA, which is, I guess, something that a lot of you will also be thinking about. And I was on course to do it. I attempted the CAT the first time without any preparation. I didn't join any classes or anything. I just thought, first attempt कहते हैं सिर्फ attempt होता है, second वाला थोड़ा serious होता है. तो मैंने पहला attempt दे दिया बिना कुछ सोचे समझे. I didn't get through. I got a 92 percentile, which wasn't bad. But what I realized after getting that was, one, I'm not that bad. And two, I from somewhere found this urge that if I was going to do an MBA, it had to be from, say, the top 10, 15 colleges of Bombay. So I had to get into an IIM. It was a big dream. It's not like I always considered myself IIM material. But I said, agar karne wala hai, to dhang se karenge. So I said, okay, the next year I'll prepare better. The next year I didn't prepare better. In fact, if anything, I prepared worse, and I got a lower percentile. And in the midst of it, things happened. I changed my job. I joined my new job, worked there. And in that time, I saw people who had done an MBA, some of them who had come back into IT, because once you know the industry, obviously your experience matters a lot. And when I see them sitting in the same office, close to the same cubicle where I would sit, I would say, this is not where I want to be. If I do an MBA, I don't know where I want to be, but I know I don't want to be here. So that got a part of me thinking कि मैं MBA कर किस ले रहा हूँ अगर, because I remember there was an IIM Indore guy who used to sit with me, and I say like, I mean, I know it sounds a little offensive to him, but I'd be like, why are you here if you know, हम लोग यहाँ पर हैं, आप क्यों यहाँ पर हो? हमने तो सिर्फ BE किया, आपने तो IIM किया. So he would be like, you know, experience works, you come back into the same industry, obviously it matters, you get a big pay rise and all. And I said, okay. But a part of me didn't want to come back there. The first couple of years I enjoyed in IT because I was good at my job as well. It's the time you actually work a lot. As you grow, experienced in pretty much any job, you tend to do less groundwork and more management work, more upar ka kaam, which sounds great to a few people, but to me, it doesn't sound that awesome. Excel sheets are something that I don't like staring into. And I realized that a lot of MBAs have to stare into it. So I wasn't sure that was the path that I wanted to go down. Now, is sab dharam sankat mein, I met someone in 2008, and seeing how they were living their life, it was an actor, and seeing how they were living their life, I was a little envious. मुझे बहुत jealousy हुई कि यार इनकी life कितनी different है. ये choices इनकी अलग हैं, अपने मन से थोड़ा काम करते हैं, freelancer थे. Obviously मुझे ये नहीं पता था कि struggle कितनी होती है. बाहर से देख के बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि अरे यार ऐसी जिंदगी है. कुछ दिन free बैठे रहते हैं. Wow, that's so amazing. So from that outside view that I had, I liked what I saw, and I thought, you know, this is encouraging. What I'm doing, I'm not enjoying. So how do I change it? Those questions started rising in me, and they used to frustrate me a lot. And it came to a point where I genuinely wanted help. So I started asking people around to help me out. What do I do? How do I do? Is it possible to do something else in my life? And most people at that time, I would like you all to know that you are living in very different times right now. 14 years ago was a very different time. You guys have opportunities now that we didn't have. You have exposure now that we didn't have. You've seen people succeed in, fields that didn't exist back then. So it's a very different time I'm talking about. So back then, a lot of people didn't have this. So most of the advice I got was, shut up, do your job, अच्छी नौकरी है, अच्छी salary है, status अच्छा है, you know, company बहुत अच्छी है, why are you cribbing? So that was most of the advice I got. But a few people who themselves were mavericks were the ones who told me, you know what, if you're not happy, change it. One of these people, this person was my best friend's sister, Juhi. I have to always give her credit because she would say, you know what, if you're not happy where you are, do something else. And she would say that you have a lot of talent, though I would not believe it. And so I did a course. Again, I have to give credit to the course as well. There's a course called Landmark Education that I did. And it's an incredibly powerful course. In 3 days, they just blow your mind open. I did this in 2008. And I remember it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday course. I went in on Friday, and one of the things, they make you write that you want to change in your life. And they say, write, जितनी चीजें लिख सकते हो तुम्हारी जिंदगी में चल नहीं रही हैं, तुम लिख दो. I wrote only my job. And the instructors, they encouraged me to write more things. They said, और लिखो, कुछ भी हो गया. I said, नहीं, नौकरी, job, profession. So they said, that's fine, but there must be other things in your life that you want to improve, you know, that you want to change. I said, no, this is it. I mean, it was a bit of a to and fro. Finally, मैंने कहा ठीक है लिख देता हूँ चार पांच चीजें तो relationships, family, money ऐसे करके लिख दिया. But primarily job was like the biggest thing there. And it's such an intense, powerful course with very simple basics at the core of it. But we as humans tend to overcomplicate a lot of things. So I went in on a Friday. I had taken chutti from office. I went in on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I came back on a Monday to office. I went straight to my manager and I said, I want to quit my job. My manager got a very big shock because Friday tak to aisa usne suna nahi tha. And he said, what happened? And I said, no, I just want to quit my job. So he said, what is it? Okay, let's sit, because obviously once an employee decides to quit, there are procedures that they go through. And like I said, I wasn't a bad employee. I was fairly decent at what I did. So I would like to believe that I was a bit of an asset. So yeah, I told him, and then they tried to offer me more money. They tried to offer me more chances, travel abroad for work and all. And I said, now that I finally decided, to leave this, I can't. I need to go. So yeah, I eventually quit my job and I started theater. My first choice at that time, I tell everyone, would have been professional sports, to attempt professional sports. Not to say that I was that good that I would play that. So I would probably try. But I was 25 years old, and that's a bit old to start professional sports. Your body needs to be groomed, conditioned from a younger age. You can at 25 do it, but the risk is much greater. So I thought, what else could I explore? And I thought, well, acting is something that I would like to explore. I had done plays in school. I had performed, obviously. We used to have these action reaction contests where you were giving a scenario and you had to perform. So I'd done those as well. Nothing professional, but I felt like that was something I would like to explore. I would have liked to be a singer, but I had never trained in singing as well. And there are some, singing is still, there is a graduation process that happens that does not happen in acting, which is why I'm lucky that I could get into acting as well, because you prepare every day for singing and you become a better singer. But there is no set process for acting in that sense, that you do this for a year and you'll become a better actor. You learn techniques, you could improve on what you have, but you can't learn acting like music or pretty much a lot of other things. So I thought I'd give acting a shot. I decided that theater was the place where the biggest test would happen of my acting abilities. So I joined a workshop for theater, 1 month workshop for this theater group called Yatri, where they train you in different types of situations. They throw things at you, exercises, just to bring out if there is an actor in you. And at the end of that, you do a performance on stage, like a proper stage. All the students do a performance. So when I did that performance and I got off stage, I remember a few people from the club, from the group, coming to me and saying, "तो तुमने obviously professional theater किया हुआ है पहले?" And I said, "नहीं, मैंने नहीं किया है." That's a very big compliment if you think that I've done it. They said, "Oh, wow, it looks like you've done it before." So that was something that did impact me a lot, made me believe that, yeah, thoda to talent hai. So I joined the theater group. I was selected to join them. And that's where my journey pretty much started as an actor. I would also go for auditions for ads. I was guided by the right people. So I would go for auditions, and I got selected in this time to do an audition as well. One of my first commercials was for compact laptops, and so old you won't recognize me in it. And as luck would have it was on my birthday as well. So I like believing in signs, and I said, wow, this is a good sign. So yeah, that's where I got started as an actor, and it seemed pretty simple. Like, it seemed easy. I said, wow, this is not that tough. Why do people say it's so tough? December of 2008, I auditioned for a TV show, and I got selected for the TV show as well. This was a TV show which was being made on a very large scale, which was supposed to release on Colors, which Colors back then was like just the biggest thing ever. It had just launched. Uh, and the show was supposed to be fun. It was supposed to be shot in Goa, and 7 friends, and just a fun show, comedy. And we shot it as well. And throughout the time, I was thinking, you know, this is cool. This is so easy. And so in 2009, we shot the show. We went to Goa as well. We spent 10 days in Goa shooting it and all. And then they were to package a certain amount of episodes because किसी भी show के release होने से पहले उनको एक certain bank बनाना पड़ता है. जब वो air पे होता है तो दूसरी shoot चल रही होती है. So uh, we shot it and then we were waiting for it to release, and we kept getting this information that it would release with Big Boss, or it would release with Khatro Ke Khiladi, and it would have this mega launch and this and that. And eventually, I'm going to shorten the story because it went for over 3 months. Eventually, that show never released. And the clause in our contracts, in most TV contracts, is that you get paid a certain number of days after the release. So I never got paid for the TV show either. So at the end of 2009, when I look back at the year, I'd done a few commercials, but the majority of the work that I had done, it didn't get released. I didn't get paid for it. So no one knew I had done any work. I had nothing to show for it on TV, no experience, and I had no money from it. So then I started realizing, okay, this is not that easy. And from my parents' side, luckily, I wasn't, there was never a no, you can't do it. But they had obviously seen me be good at my job. So my mom would just give me reminders that, you've left a very good paying, high paying job, which again, like, let me remind you, 14 years ago was a very big deal. And she said, what's going on? And I said, no, I want to try it. Also because if anything in 2009, थोड़ा सा मुझे encouragement मिल गया था कि अगर काम बिल्कुल नहीं करता तो मैं समझता कि ठीक है यार, नहीं हो रहा है मुझसे. But क्योंकि मुझे काम मिल रहा था, क्योंकि I had already done this, I thought, wait, let's give it a little more time. 2009, I gave another audition, and we get audition messages. So if a lot of you don't know how it works, is first up, when you don't know anybody, you just keep going where you hear that there are auditions. You keep going, you keep asking, you meet people and say, "Bhai, koi aur audition hai, bata do." And after that, when people get to know कि ये बंदा है, तो coordinators होते हैं, casting वाले होते हैं, जो आपको messages भेजना शुरू कर देते हैं. So I had gotten this message for a lifestyle channel. So I decided to go for it, and I decided to dress, to impress. And I'd been gifted yellow shoes. Now you'll be wondering, what's significant about it? The shoes are one of the biggest reasons I got that job. So I was dressed because I was this person who would only wear black and whites. My friend had given me yellow shoes. Ki bhai thoda to color la apni zindagi mein. So I went to this audition, and they said, "Hi, we are looking for anchors." Till that time in my life, I had never thought of myself as an anchor. Because I always thought anchors have a very unique, different personality, and मैं बहुत simple, straightforward हूँ. Who wants to see me as an anchor? That's what I believed. Because back then, our idea of anchors would primarily be, Channel V, MTV hosts who were so lively, who were so colorful. And, I remember anchors like Yudhishthir, who I just looked at and said, I'm not this guy. So I went, and they said, this is for an anchor. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you wanted an actor. I'm not an anchor. So I was ready to leave. And they said, you know what? It's just like acting. You have a script, you learn it, act like you're an anchor. So I said, theek hai. As an experience, it's not bad. I can try it. So I decided to give it a shot. And I gave it a shot. I remember this was a time when N70, the phone, was a very big deal. So I was like, chalo, let's do this. So I learned the specifications, plus technical stuff used to anyway excite me. Maybe the background of being an engineer helped. And so I gave the audition, and I didn't think much about it, and I left. And within a month or two, I got a call saying, we really liked your audition, so why don't you come for an interview? I said, okay, chalo jate hain. So I went for the interview as well. and they really liked me. And later on, I got to know that one of the reasons they asked me to audition, in spite of me saying no, was that one of the producers there saw my shoes and said, "Dude, he dresses pretty funky. इसको चांद थे, तो देखते हैं क्या करता है." So that's why the yellow shoes play such an important role in me starting to become an anchor. So I worked with this channel, which was Star CJ Live. It was a home shop network. I eventually worked for them for 2 years. I do credit them because वहाँ पर मुझे live programming सिखाया गया. They wanted to do home shop live, and a lot of people who watch live programming don't understand obviously क्या क्या elements होते हैं उसमें. So once you're there and once you do it, and you have to be trained for it because you've never experienced something like this. So they trained me for it. They sent me to Korea to train for it, which is where I started getting familiar with what live anchoring is, and made me comfortable with having a earpiece in your ear where someone is talking while you're talking, someone is talking while someone else is talking. You're getting instructions to move on and stuff like that, and that's it. So I worked 2 years for them. Now, till this point that everyone is listening to the story, I'm sure you're saying, "Oh wow, you like something, you want to do something, go for it," which is fair, because till now it sounds a little rewarding. I now come to the bit after that, which is the risk part that I talk about, because this field is unlike any other field. Nobody can prepare you for it. They can give you things to watch out for, they can tell you things to do better, they can tell you things to help you, but no one can prepare you for anything that happens because no one knows what's going to happen. So after I left Star CJ Alive, as luck would have it, unfortunately I tore a ligament in my knee, and my meniscus was also torn because of football. I used to play football as well. Had a very bad injury on my knee and I had to get operated. So I had a surgery here in Mumbai, and for 9 months, I had like a recovery phase where I couldn't even jog. This was 2013, which was my recovery year. And obviously, the first 3 months I was on crutches, wheelchair. Wheelchair तो 2-3 बार use की because थोड़ा सा वो लगता था कि wheelchair पे नहीं बैठूंगा मैं, which is also stupid. But then it was crutches and walker and all that. And I remember in that year, surprisingly, I did quite a few good commercials. But I used to always tell the people that I can't stand, I can't walk, I can't run. तो अगर आपके कमर्शियल में ऐसी कोई भी चीज है तो मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ, मैं सिर्फ बैठ सकता हूँ. So they used to think I'm joking, but eventually they would realize कि अरे भाई इसका तो प्रॉब्लम है. So 2013 भी ठीक ठाक निकल गया, इतना बुरा नहीं था. 2014 and 15 were years which, like I said, if you talk about the risk element involved in following your heart, those years properly defined for me my risk, to the extent where I have genuinely thought of quitting. I have spoken to people, my ex-friends from IT, and asked them, should I just quit? And luckily they said no. वरना तो मैं तो सोच रहा था. 2014, I signed on to do another TV show, surprisingly. But वो शो मुझसे शूट ही नहीं कराता था. वो मेरे डेट्स ब्लॉक कर लेते थे और फिर ज्यादा शूट नहीं करते थे. उनका शेड्यूल ऐसा था. इवेंचुअली क्या हुआ कि मुझे 1 महीने में ऑन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट 20-25 दिन काम करना था, लेकिन 7 महीनों में मैंने 25 दिन टोटल भी काम नहीं किया होगा. Which, how it works for us is we get paid for the day that we work. It's very different from a corporate job. So you're not usually signed on for a month. You're not paid by the month. Some कई जगह पे ये होता है, but the norm is you get paid for the day that you work. It's daily laborers in a way. So when you work 25 days in 7 months, you don't earn a lot. And again, I used to be sitting at home a lot, not working. Which is where I'm saying, when you look from outside and you look at someone saying, there are days he's sitting free and he's chilling. For all it's one of the worst times for that person because they don't want to be sitting and chilling. But we have to, because in our case, other people have to give us work. It's not just us looking for work or something like that. Someone else gives us work. And for every job that we go for an acting assignment that I go for, I don't know now, but I remember जब पहले जाता था, एक ऑडिशन में 300 बंदे आते थे. at least. So imagine that's the competition that you're dealing with. So yeah, I was sitting at home a lot. This was also a time when I believe I myself could have done a little bit more, but I didn't. So a lot of this responsibility is on me. Uh, I'm sure a lot of you are gaming freaks, so I'm going to drop this in here. Stay away from video games as much as you can, because at that time I was extremely addicted to playing FIFA on my laptop, and I used to spend hours playing FIFA on the laptop. I used to wake up, eat my breakfast, play FIFA, eat lunch, sleep, get up, play FIFA. That's the guy I had become. It's a very addictive game, obviously, and football, like I said, is something I've always loved. But yeah, stay away as much as you can. I know it's not easy, but that's something that influenced a lot of my time. It was taking a lot of my time, and I should have done things differently, but I didn't. And I remember it must have been so painful for my mother, because here I was, 30 plus, at home every day on the laptop playing FIFA. And yeah, it's not a pleasant sight, especially when your parents believe that you are able enough to do a lot more and earn a good living, when your friends have gone out and done very good jobs, become very successful, bought houses, bought cars, started families, and you know you seem like you're living this teenager life. It's not great, and nobody's parents deserve this. So 2014 was one of those years. 2014 end में at my cousin's Diwali party, I met someone. तो दिवाली पार्टी में ज्यादातर लोग कार्ड्स खेलना पसंद करते हैं. मुझे कार्ड्स खेलना इतना पसंद नहीं है. और उस दिन शायद इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन रियल मैड्रिड और बार्सिलोना का मैच था. तो while people were playing cards, I was sitting in one room watching the match, and that's how crazy I am about football. And I remember someone came into the room and said, "Why aren't you playing?" And I said, "I would rather watch this match." So they said, "Do you like sports?" And I said, "Yeah." So they said, "Okay, would you like to do a workshop with Star Sports?" And I said, "Yeah." I mean, ye kaisa sawal? Obviously, anyone would like to do that. So they said, "Okay, I'll set you up." This lady named Vinti, she said, "I will set you up, and you can go and do a workshop with Star Sports." And I couldn't believe my ears, because for a year I'd been just sitting, not doing too much. And here I was being told that you could go to a sports channel and do a sports workshop with them. So I got into this workshop and I did this workshop, and I thought, okay, things are looking good. At least I'm doing something. And this was end 2014, and early 2015 में cricket World Cup होना था. And from their side, they asked me to audition for different sports. They were launching hockey also, I remember. So I auditioned for everything. And I didn't make it for hockey, so I felt bad. And, another couple of shows. So I thought, okay, maybe it's not working out. And then eventually they said, would you consider being the on-ground reporter in Australia for the Cricket World Cup? I said, wow, this is like the biggest thing ever in my life. And especially after the year I'd had, I mean, it couldn't get bigger than this. Honestly, for me, being the diehard sports fan that I am, even though I am an actor, I feel like this was possibly one of the biggest things ever that could have happened at that moment. And we were going through the processes, and we talks were on and on. I was supposed to be the guy, but eventually, for whatever reasons, they just dropped me. And that was one of the biggest heartbreaks I've experienced in my life, because when I was young, like I said, I used to play every sport. I had always dreamed of being a cricketer, and to be able to host a cricket World Cup, was just one of the biggest dreams that could have been given to me. Eventually, nahi hua wo. So again, I was broken. And 2015, the first part of 2015 was very hard for me to recover from this. I remember I didn't watch a single match of the World Cup, because every time that TV came on and cricket came on screen, I would just go through these processes again, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So yeah, it took me a while to recover from it. And again, I was like, is this ever going to work out? Or should I just leave it all behind? But again, one of the things that kept driving me forward was at least I'm being considered for these things. That helped a lot. It wasn't just me wanting to do this, it was me being considered for some of the biggest things in the field. So that's a very big positive. कि अगर तुम कंसिडर हो ही नहीं रहे हो तो तुम सोच लोगे यार ठीक है छोड़ के चले जाता हूँ मैं. But of course, it's not very pleasant when you reach literally the doorstep and they kick you out of there also. So it's very heartbreaking. Another thing you have to deal with a lot in this field is just the amount of rejection you have. And if you know actors, if you know anchors, freelancing actors especially, it's not easy for them because they get rejected almost every day. Imagine giving an interview, having hopes for that interview, and being rejected for it. We face this day in, day out. That is one of the biggest things you deal with being in this industry. A lot of people look at it from outside and say, मैं एक्टिंग सीख लूंगा, मैं डांस सीख लूंगा, मैं मार्शल आर्ट सीख लूंगा, स्पीच डिक्शन कोच से ट्रेनिंग ले लूंगा. ठीक है, ये सब आप कर लोगे. But what no one will ever prepare you for is the rejection that you will face. And this field has a lot of it. So from outside in, it looks great, amazing, and all that. Once you're inside, there's a lot that you have to deal with. One of the biggest things we have to deal with is days without work. It's not something you can prepare for. What do you do on your days without work? And actors have to do this a majority of the time. So when you listen to someone getting paid a lot for the day that they work, you must understand that it's also for probably 20 days of not working. So it's not all glory and all awesome and all happy. There are a lot of tough times that come along in this field. And I haven't even spoken about the insecurity and all yet. I'm just talking about work right now. So anyway, so 2015 was a bit of a year where again I was trying to figure out kya kare, what's going on, is this leading somewhere? 2015 was also a very lucky year for me. I didn't do much work, but it was uh, a year where I hosted my first event. And when I hosted that event, I realized, okay, wow, this is an avenue that I haven't even considered, pursued so far. I should have done this 5 years ago. So 2015 is when I got a taste of that. 2016 was a defining year where I said, okay, I need to focus on work because I've been very casual about it. Like I said, मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया, there were times I could have done better, not played FIFA, not switched on my laptop, gone, met someone for work, but I didn't do that. So 2016 was that year. Also 2016 was a year that I eventually worked with Star Sports. मुझे थोड़ा जुनून हो गया था वर्ल्ड कप के रिजेक्शन के बाद कि मैं काम करूंगा इनके साथ. तो अगले साल I did the badminton league with them. And I was very happy that chalo, at least kar liya. I have something to show that I'm a sports anchor now. After that also work was a little tough, but my focus had come. So I wanted to work. 2016 went by okay. 2017 is a year that I consider a very defining year in my life because 2017 is a year my parents stay in Mumbai as well. So this entire time I'd be living with them, not paying rent, comfortable life. 2017 is a year that I decided to shift out on my own. And a lot of people said, it's madness. Mumbai जैसे शहर में जब तुम्हारे पास घर है तो तुम उस घर को क्यों छोड़ोगे? And I thought I needed to do that. One of the reasons I needed to do that was I believe जब तक तुमको pinch नहीं होता है, जब तक तुमको need इतनी नहीं होती है. In my case, the need to pay bills or money or rent, I didn't have that because I was at my parents' house. जितना भी पैसा होता था काफी होता था. And I said, वो need जब create होएगी, जब आप minimum महीने में 30,000 रुपए आपके सिर्फ rent और शायद बिजली के बिल पे जा रहे हो, तब आपके दिमाग में बात चलती रहेगी कि यार काम नहीं है मेरे पास, काम नहीं है मेरे पास. तब आप सब करने को तैयार हो जाओगे in terms of going out and meeting people, cold calling people, which I used to think मैं कभी नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Randomly calling event companies and saying, hi, my name is Arpit, I'm an anchor. please give me work, things I'd never done before. But when you have that need, when you cannot sleep without figuring out कि पैसा कहाँ से आने वाला है, that was one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to experience it. Of course, I could have failed. This could have turned out a very different way, but I needed to experience it. So in 2017, I shifted into this house. I've been here now this is my 5th year. I love this house. I also believe this is a lucky house for me. So I don't want to leave it. I pay rent for this. And like I said, a lot of people said that was one of the stupidest things. Not everyone, but a lot of people said that. कि मुंबई में क्यों तुम ऐसा करोगे जब तुम्हारे पास घर है? That's been one of the best decisions I've made in my life, because my brain just rewired itself to think about work constantly. I'm glad I made that decision. And work started coming in. My manager, Sunita, met me in 2017, and she was a big help for me because she set me up with events and she started doing my marketing. And I did some great events in 2017. And in 2017, I got called by Sony to say, will you come audition with us? And I said, yeah, sure. And I went to audition with them. And yeah, they auditioned me for some other show, but वहाँ पे एक Champions League का logo था. तो मैंने Champions League के logo के साथ एक selfie ली और उसको Instagram पे डाला था कि sweet dreams are made of this. And a lot of people thought कि I'd gotten the gig. I had not gotten the gig. मैंने ऐसे ही डाल दिया था कि भाई मतलब sweet dreams are made of this, सपना है और बहुत ही दूर का सपना है, मतलब पॉसिबल कैसे होगा मुझे नहीं पता है, बट आई हैड स्टार्टेड बिलीविंग इन द पावर ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन एंड वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स समथिंग एंड स्टेइंग फोकस्ड टुवर्ड्स इट. So I did that in 2017, and I remember in 2018 nothing happened immediately. It was a long time. In 2018 I got a call and they said, Arpit, we need an anchor who can host in Hindi and for the FA Cup final between Manchester United and Chelsea, and I'm a Manchester United fan. Matlab, for me, one of those moments, but because I had experienced so much rejection already till then, I was like, जब तक होगा नहीं ना, तब तक मैं कुछ नहीं सोचने वाला हूँ. मतलब हो जाए उसके बाद देखेंगे. एक बार सेट पे है, शो रोल हो गया है, मैंने पहली लाइन बोल दिया, उसके बाद लगेगा कि जैसे हमने कर लिया ये. So 2018 FA Cup final I did with Sony Sports. It went decent according to me. And they liked it enough to ask me to host following week for the Champions League final. Again, I thought, wow, amazing. इससे बड़ी कोई चीज ही नहीं हो सकती. So I went and hosted the Champions League final in Hindi again. And once I'd finished that, they said, we might want to consider you for the World Cup. Is that something you'd be interested to in Hindi? I mean, I've always told them this, कि मतलब वो सवाल कैसे होता है मुझे वो नहीं समझता. How can you ask someone who wants to do this, obviously, and is a football fan? I said, you already knew what the answer was. So, yeah, then I hosted the World Cup with them. And then that's where my journey with Sony Sports properly started. And they've been really, really great and really generous to me. Siddharth, one of my senior producers, I would like to mention him here because he's given me so many great opportunities at Sony Sports, Ayush as well. And then on, it's been, touchwood, a much better ride. So eventually, again, what people see today is the reward part of it. But it's been a long, long ride to reach there. Now, this is what I've told you about my life. I hope a lot of you haven't slept off by now. But a few things that I'd like to cover, because at the end of the day, you've heard my life. Like I said, आप इसको copy paste भी कर दोगे तो परिणाम वैसा नहीं होगा जो इससे मेरी life में हुआ है. One of the things, and I know a lot of you might not believe this, but one of the things I consider as the biggest factor in my life is luck. You might not like to hear that. You might not believe in it. I believe in it. And I believe I've been very lucky. They also say the harder you work, the luckier you become. So I would like to believe कि थोड़ा बहुत मैंने भी अपनी तरफ से किया है जिस वजह से मैं यहाँ पर पहुंचा हूँ. The biggest thing I'd like to tell you is, obviously this is follow your heart. The topic that I've chosen to tell you is follow your heart. You guys are living in an age where people can do anything. People are earning, I mean, from mind-boggling jobs now. There's a kid who unravels gifts on YouTube, and apparently the family makes millions of dollars. There are people who make videos on social media platforms and they earn millions. I remember reading about this lady who had put pictures of वो कहीं यूएस में डेजर्ट में रहती थी और उसके पीछे वो ऐसे कचरे के बॉल घूमते थे, उसने ऐसी रैंडमली फोटो लेके अपनी वेबसाइट पे डाल दी थी और उसके लिए लोगों ने उसको पैसे. These are things that weren't available to us when we were growing up and when we were looking at jobs. So you guys have a lot of opportunities. Maybe it works against you in a way because कुछ ज़्यादा ही opportunities है तुम्हारे पास. Following your heart should not be a problem for all of you. The only things that I would say you need to consider before you do anything is, which I've said this before as well. One, please always do a very good assessment of yourself and be realistic about your assessment. Don't be कि मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ, which is great, but do an assessment, a proper assessment of what you want to do, how you want to go about it, and whether you have it in you. The second most important thing is get an assessment from other people who know more about that field than you do, maybe. Because a lot of us believe we can do it, we are awesome, which is great. Self-belief is crucial. But get people who know the field, who know the stuff that goes into it, and let them assess you and tell you what they think. The third thing is the support structure that I always talk about. Never ignore your support structure. There might be a few of you, it has happened to me in the past as well. There might be a few of you who think, I have these dreams and my parents don't support me in these dreams. Why aren't they more, thoughtful about my life and all that? Parents will always look for your security, for your safety. They have grown up nurturing you and protecting you. That is going to be the way they are till the end of their life. So they never want to see you struggle. They never want to see you hurt. They never want to see you disappointed. So a lot of things that they say, a lot of things that they suggest are to avoid those. It's not to kill your dreams. It's not to make you feel bad. It's not to, control you. It's just to try and ensure you, whatever parents do, 99% of the time, I would like to say, is to make sure that you are protected. So your support structure is so crucial. If you feel, your parents aren't doing enough, they should do more and all that, and don't do this, but घर से निकल जाओ फिर. निकलो बाहर और दुनिया को देखो. वहां देखो तुम्हें कितने लोग सपोर्ट करते हैं. वहां पे देखो तुम खुद को सपोर्ट कर पाओगे नहीं. वैसे घर मत छोड़ देना. मतलब all you college people will go home and suddenly the parents will be like, ये किसने बोला तुम्हें? But I'm saying, please understand that point of view. Don't start fights with your support structure. They're very crucial for you to go ahead, right? So these are things that you must always take care of in whatever field you want to go towards. I know where you guys stand and what you guys have seen from people who will give you talks, inspiring you, from me, maybe where I am eventually, where a lot of people ask me and say, I love sports, I want to do what you do. Tell me how to do it. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Like I said, I started this off saying the glass trace bit, that you could take my life and you could do exactly the things that I did. You may still not end up here. So I hope what I've said in a way can inspire you, I guess, motivate you, and more importantly, just do things the right way. If eventually I can help someone, if eventually my life experience is enough to help someone, then it's great. I never thought I would be this person delivering talks, but here I am being asked by ADIT to talk to you people. And I just hope that this was worth your time. So I'm not sure I have more to cover in terms of that, but I was told that there might be questions that a lot of you have. So if you guys want to ask me questions right now, go for it.
Thank you, sir. It's great to hear you. You have gone through a lot of many things, and your journey has been wonderful. It's great to hear your journey right from you. Uh,
सर आपकी जर्नी ऐसी है कि जहां हम स्टूडेंट्स जॉब पर्सन्स कैन रिलेट each and every moment in their life. So sir, what journey you have?
Yeah, I know, because when I got to know IEEE was something that was there when we were in college as well. But जैसा मैंने बताया कि मैं इतना unaware होता था about things in college, तो मेरे को ज़्यादा ध्यान ही नहीं था. I didn't prepare a presentation, so I'm really sorry about that. But I'll show you this. I don't know if you can see it,
Yeah,
where you see that photograph on the left, which
yeah,
says "Sweet dreams are made of this." That
yes,
was the
yeah,
one I clicked at the Sony studios.
yeah.
Yeah, this one in November 2017. And then 26th May, as you can see over there.
yes,
So that was the start of the dream. Anyway, go ahead. Was that
Also,
okay? Atim and Surbi, was that okay?
yeah, sir.
yes, yes. It
Wonderful,
was
sir.
perfectly fine. Too good.
You're too generous, you guys. Thank you.
Also, sir, we came to know that you have recently debuted in Hindi commentary too in the match of Atletico Madrid versus Manchester United. So
Yeah,
we would like to congratulate you, sir, for this achievement.
thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
That is a big deal because that is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. वो तो ऐसा है कि मैं कोशिश कर करके मांग के कर रहा था कोशिश, but there are better people, there are more experienced people than I am who do it usually. So I was lucky enough to get that chance. I hope to get many more, but for now I'll just cross my fingers about it.
And so, sir, how was your experience regarding that? The
The
first comment.
commentary.
Yes.
Oh, I was very nervous. I can tell you this. I was very nervous when I got started because hosting and commentary are so different, so different. Um so I was a little nervous. Also, the setup is something I've not been used to because जब आप host करते हो तो you know the mic and the earphone is very different. And when you're sitting in commentary, you have a headset and a very different mic and a few buttons in front of you, which was obviously the first time I was doing it. So I was very nervous about it. But as I got into it and I was doing commentary with Siddharth Pandey, who's one of the most amazing human beings on this planet. So he really helped me out as well. Every time he realized he maybe wasn't a little sure of how to, he would just take control of everything. So overall, at the end, the experience was great, and luckily, some of the feedback I got was also nice. So I felt really thrilled about it.
It was great, sir. And we have got some questions from the viewers and the audience.
Oh,
So,
really?
yes.
Go on.
Question is, came up from Mahek Goswami, and we all, and the audience and the viewers wanted to know that you are associated and you are mostly host for football competitions and leagues. So, first and obviously, the foremost question has to be who from the two, Messi or Ronaldo?
Oh, why? I am so against this question only. Uh, I've always said this: if you have a chance to make a team, you don't say no to any of these players. They've been two of the greatest players we've ever witnessed. You कोई भी मैनेजर ऐसा नहीं है, कोई भी, और जितना भी मैसी फैंस है ना, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप जिस दिन टीम बना रहे होगे कुछ जीतने के लिए कि आप रोनाल्डो को मना करोगे. वो ठीक है, आपको मैसी ज्यादा पसंद है. आई रिस्पेक्ट दैट. Same way with Ronaldo fans. You might be the most hardcore Ronaldo fan, but if you were making a team to play and you had a chance to put Messi in your team, you're not going to say, "नहीं, मेरे को Messi नहीं चाहिए. He's not good enough." That is, I mean, I don't know how people even say that statement. I can never pick between the two. I've been lucky enough to be part of a generation that witnesses both Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. No chance of picking one of the two. मतलब अगर वो ऐसी बात आई कि मैं मैनेजर हूं और मुझे सिर्फ एक ही प्लेयर चुनना पड़ेगा रोनाल्डो और मेसी में से, तो मैं मैनेजर के पद से हट जाऊंगा.
What a great answer, sir. Sir, we have another question from one of our viewer, Tisha Darji. What do you do to escape the real world as people do paintings, traveling apart from their profession?
uh, the first part of the question is really nice. What do you do to escape the real world? So this, my world here in my house is where I escape most of the world. I love being in my house. I stay by myself. So it's pretty much a very nice escape. I'm very lucky, like I said, to have this house as well. But apart from this, I love music. So I have my guitar right there. I play music a little bit. I am not that much of a traveler. I do like traveling, but वो जो wanderlust वाले लोग होते हैं वो मैं नहीं हूँ. तो कभी कभी travel कर लेता हूँ. I made a trip to Ladakh last year and I absolutely loved it. But yeah, when I need to escape, if that's the question, when I need to escape from everyone else, this is exactly where I am in my house.
Great, sir.
It was great to know that you play guitar too.
Just a little bit.
Sir, we have another question from Shruti Patel. What attracted you to begin a career as an actor?
Um, like I said, when I met this person who was an actor, uh, the biggest thing that attracted me was the choices that the person was making. They were choosing. So today, I mean, if you give an actor work, they'll pretty much say yes to it. But there are times when we don't work. There are times when, say, today, if I decide to go travel somewhere, no one really controls that about me except me. So the choice factor that I saw was one of the biggest things as a freelance actor, I would like to say. Uh, the second thing was I had, like I said, I had done a few plays, stage performances when I was younger. I did enjoy that expression of art in a way. So I did like the artistic aspect of it. For a lot of people, obviously, the first thing will be, oh, the glamour, the money. The money, yes, agar milta hai to kyun nahi. But for me, the glamour was never an aspect that I really, even today, I don't pursue it so much because I like my little bubble of people not really knowing who I am, me being able to go and just yesterday have an ice cream in a corner with no one really troubling me. It's great. I enjoy that space. And but yeah, the fact that you can choose what you're doing, the expression that you do, it's those are the things that attracted me to it.
Okay.
Oh, very true, sir.
So, so Shruti, I hope your query is solved.
So if you don't mind, can we have a quick
Quick
round of
rapid
rapid fire
fire.
round?
You have to answer in just a second, if you don't mind.
I mind a lot, but okay, sure, should be
Okay,
fun.
so
Let's
let's
see.
start. Favorite
Go on.
player football.
Sorry,
Favorite football player. Favorite football player.
favorite football player, Ruud van Nistelrooy,
Favorite club?
Manchester United.
Best moment backstage.
Best moment,
Backstage at backstage.
best moment backstage. Oh, okay, might be. I was doing this play. I was doing this play called Ravan Leela, and I was playing the role of Ram. I was backstage, and Ravan had to make an entry. The guy playing Ravan had to make an entry, and I just messed with him, saying, "Arey, tu late ho gaya, tu late ho gaya," and he thought I was being serious. So he started running and started his dialogue backstage only, and I was running behind him to stop him from entering on stage. And if someone had seen that, no, it would have been such a funny scene that this guy dressed like Ravan is running and this guy dressed like Ram is running behind him. कि रुक entry मत लेना क्योंकि अगर तूने entry ले ली बाद में director will take my class. So that was, I mean, at that time it was a scary moment, but yeah, that's the one that stands out for me right now.
Great, great. Favorite personality of the pitch?
Favorite personality off the pitch? Oof, so hard to pick one, but I'll go with a famous personality. I'll go with Sunil Chetri.
Oh, go to restaurant.
Go to restaurant.
Yeah.
So there's this most Udupis, first of all. We have Udupi restaurants here. I absolutely love them. I love going for a masala dosa. So those are usually first choice. But I have this roadside Chinese joint in Juhu. which I absolutely love. So that's the one. I'm not a very posh eater. I'm a very simple eater, mostly desi food. But yeah, most of the times I order from that place.
Great, great. Favorite artist or singer?
Favorite artist or sing? I'll go with this band. I really like this band called The Killers. I love their music. Uh,
Hmm.
I've been just listening to their songs non-stop for the past few months. I love that band. So if anyone has not heard The Killers, please go and listen to this band. It's really phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah, surely.
Second favorite sport after football.
Ooh, favorite sport after football to play badminton.
Okay.
Great. Profession you would choose if not while you are having what you are having
Uh,
right now.
Definitely a sports person. Possibly now, because when I was growing up, it used to be only cricket, but now football, a football player.
Best co-host.
हो 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 तो तुम तो मरवा रहे में लगे हो यार. Luckily, I don't host with a lot of these guys. We
You-
It's
individually
okay.
host stuff.
It's okay, sir, if you do not want to answer that.
No, no. So the thing is, I usually host alone. I don't have other people hosting with me, but I have to go with Manas on this one. My
Great.
other football host at Sony and a Liverpool supporter. So I'll go with Manas. Manas Singh.
Okay, great. Favorite movie?
Oh, wow. This is hard. I'll I'll pick one from Hindi. Amar Akbar Anthony is one of my all-time favorite movies, and from English, so hard. But I'll go with Die Hard.
Beach person or mountain person?
Both. Never understood this question. Never understood it. Just like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, I'll say both.
Okay, then
Okay.
coffee or tea?
Tea, chai, always.
Great.
Okay. Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal?
What are these questions, man? Well, come on. Rafa Nadal just showed us why he should be one of the greatest players at the Australian Open, and Roger Federer is the Rolls Royce of tennis. No chance
Yes,
of picking either. You'll pick both. Both amazing players.
surely, surely. We have another question from the viewers as well.
Sure.
Okay. Manchester United fan club versus Atletico Madrid. What is your prediction in second leg?
Oof.
This question is
So
from Sarthak Shah.
this person is
Sarthak Shah.
Sarthak Shah. Ah, so hard, especially after the match against Watford last night. I would just, my heart, because my brain will say something else. I'll just go with my heart and say 2-0 to Manchester United.
So,
Sarthak Shah is saying, I always saw you in Euro 2020, FIFA World Cup 2018. You had interactions with retired players and plenty of Premier League or La League players. What those personalities taught you?
Yeah, I've been lucky to talk to quite a few ex-footballers. Um, one one of the biggest things that these guys have taught me is, just how humble and modest most of these guys are. Uh, they talk to me, they talk to other people at the studios, and for us, I mean, anyone who's played in La Liga or the EPL is a certain level of a god because हम अगर मैं फुटबॉल प्लेयर भी सोचता हूँ कि मैं खेलूंगा उस लेवल पे खेलना is such a big dream. So anyone who's done that is obviously someone a miracle person for us. But these people are so humble most more often than not. Sports personalities overall, not just football. Ex tennis players I've hung out with. I'm just amazed at how humble they are. And when I see that, you know, guys who've achieved so much, guys who've been at the biggest stages, guys who've been household names at times, if they can behave like that, if they can be so normal in their life, I believe everyone should just be like that. They've taught me a lot. They've taught me a lot about the sports primarily as well, but just on how to live a good life, a simple life, and be so humble and modest. I guess that's one of the biggest things that they've taught me.
Okay, sir. Great, sir.
uh,
So to all the viewers, because of limitation of the time, sir can't answer all the questions. So if you want to ask Then all the social media handles of sir are in description box. So check that out.
Okay. And sir, we would like to present you a virtual token of gratitude to you. Gratitude to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I accept. I The fact that you asked me to speak was a very big token in itself. Thank you so much for that.
So it was great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, sir. We had a great talk with you, and we wish further achievements in future to you, sir. Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Like,
sir.
we will definitely meet in person soon, I hope.
Why not? Hopefully, I come to Gujarat.
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir. Please do come.
I would love to. I would love to. I wish this had been like an on-ground thing. We've been missing on-ground events, but yeah, I understand the restrictions. I hope to be there sometime soon.
Yeah, sure, sir. We are waiting. Okay, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Bye bye.
Bye.